Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Salim Mubarak. So last four classes we are discussed the 40 questions regarding three-phase induction motor. So we have 50 question. So only 10 question is remaining for you. Okay. So we can start with the 41st question. Okay, the magnetizing current drawn by a three-phase induction motor is about dash of full load stator current. So what is the magnetizing current drawn by a three-phase induction motor is about dash of full load stator current. I think you know what is the magnetizing current. So there is a current required to produce the magnetic field, that is known as magnetizing current. So it is around 30 to 50%. You have to understand. I had this one value. It is around 30 to 50 percentage of full load stator current. So if the stator current is taking 10 ampere, so magnetizing current will be 3 to 5 ampere. Okay, means 30 to 50 percentage. Okay, so the next question is there, what is the approximate efficiency of, what is the approximate efficiency of a 60 hertz 6 pole 3 phase induction motor running at 1050 rpm. Okay, so 1050 rpm. So you have to find what is approximate efficiency. The option is 70. Option A 72.5 percentage. Option B 81.2 percentage. Option C 76.8 percentage. Option D 87.5 percentage. So what is the question? What is the approximate efficiency? You have to find the efficiency of an induction motor. So what is the specification? It is a 60 hertz 6 pole and the running at a 1050 rpm. So can go the explanation. So it is a 42 questions. Okay, 42 questions. So what is the frequency? It is given. It is a 60 hertz. It is a given. The number of pole is equal to 6. And so you know what is the rotor speed? It is a given as 1050 rpm. Okay. So actually, what is the efficiency? Efficiency, you know, is a standard equation. It is output by input. Output by input. So what is the output of the rotor divided by input of the rotor? So output of the rotor divided by input of the rotor. So we can easily understand using the power flow diagram. Okay, so this is output, gross mechanical power development. That is output. That is a 1 minus S into P2. That is the output. What is the input? Input of the rotor is equal to P2. So it is the input of the rotor and it is the output. So it is the output by input. It is the efficiency. So 1 minus S into P2 divided by input. What is input? P2. That will be your efficiency. Okay, that will be the equation. So efficiency is equal to output is equal to 1 minus S into P2 divided by input is equal to P2. That will be P2 will be cancelled. It is a 1 minus S. So 1 minus S will be your efficiency, is an approximate efficiency. So when you're asking the approximate efficiency, you can use this equation. So it is a slip is given, so you can easily understand, you can easily find the answer. So here slip is not given, so there is a equation for the slip. What is the equation for the slip? It is ns minus n divided by ns. So when you're cross multiplying this one, ns into s is equal to ns minus n, and then again n will be equal to, so you can n you can move to left side and this time you can move to right side. So n become left side and then ns into s will be become move to the right side, it will be negative. So ns minus ns into s, so you can take ns as a common. So n is equal to ns into 1 minus s. Okay, so we have to we want one equation using 1 minus s, so we are arranging this one. So 1 minus s is equal to n divided by ns. So it is, what is the efficiency? It's a 1 minus s or n divided by ns. That will be our efficiency. So what is n? N is a given 1050. Okay. What is ns? 1200. So ns we are find here 120 using 120 f by p. 120 into 60 divided by 6, it will be 1200 rpm. So n divided by ns 1050 divided by 1200, it is 0.875. It is equal to 87.5 percentage. Okay, once again, so we have to find the efficiency. Efficiency is equal to output by input. So what is the output? 1 minus s into p2 divided by p2. So it is a 1 minus s. Okay, so you have to find the s. You want one equation using the 1 minus s. So s is equal to ns minus n divided by ns. So when you're cross multiplying, ns into s is equal to ns minus n. Then n, you can make one equation using 1 minus s. Okay, so n you can place in the left side, and this term will be going to the right side. So n will be equal to ns minus ns into s. So ns is a common, so it is a ns into 1 minus s. So 1 minus s will be equal to n divided by ns. That will be the efficiency. So our answer will be option D. That will be our answer. Okay. So the next question. A three-phase 400-volt wound rotor motor has a delta-connected stator winding and a star-connected rotor winding. Okay, the stator has 48 turns per phase, while the rotor has 24 turns per phase. The standstill voltage across the slip ring is there. So wound rotor means it is a slip ring induction motor. So you know that an induction motor is like a transformer. So you can easily apply the voltage ratio or turn ratio equation. So that I'm used here. Okay, so induction motor is like a transformer. Okay, so you can apply the turn ratio equation. So n2 by n1 divided by n1 is equal to v2 divided by v1. So you know in the equation, in the question, you can see n2 is equal to 24, n1 is equal to 48. Okay, so v1 is a stator voltage per phase. So stator, you know, it is a delta connected. So phase voltage and line voltage will be the same in the delta connection. So stator voltage per phase is equal to 400 voltage. Okay, so you have to find the what is a V2. Okay, voltage per phase in the rotor. So N2 minus N1, N2 divided by N1 is equal to V2 by V1. So what is the N2? It is a 24. N1 is equal to 48. Divide is equal to V2 by 400. V2 you have to find this value, then 400. So when you are rearranging this equation, V2 is equal to 24 into 400 divided by 48. 24 into 400 divided by 48. So it will be 200 per phase. So across the slip ring means it is a line voltage. Across the slip ring it is means it is a line voltage. So line voltage, you know that line voltage is equal to root 3 into the phase voltage. So here you are getting the phase voltage. So root 3 into the phase voltage. Root 3 means 1.73 into 200 is equal to 346 voltage. 346 volt. Okay, 346 voltage. So our answer is option D. It is a 346 voltage. Okay. The next we have to go the 44th questions. Okay. A 50 hertz 8-pole 3-phase induction motor has a full load slip of 4%. The rotor resistance and standstill reactance are 0.01 and 0.1 ohm respectively. The speed at which maximum torque occur is. So what is the question? There is a induction motor is there. The full load slip is 4% and it is a 8-pole 50 hertz. Okay. So rotor resistance or standstill reactance is given as 0.01 and 0.1. Okay. The speed at which maximum torque occur. You have to find the speed at which the maximum torque occur. Okay, so I am doing this slip at max. So you already studied slip at maximum torque. So you want a maximum torque for a particular slip. That value will be R2 divided by X2. This already we discussed. Slip at maximum torque is equal to R2 divided by X2. So R2 is given as 0.01 and X2 it is given as 0.1. Okay, So slip at maximum torque Sm will be equal R2 divided by X2, and R2 will be 0.01 and X2 is a 0.1. The answer will be 0.1. Though when the torque is maximum, that time the slip will be 0.1. So it is a equation we are already discussed in this last video. Okay, slip at maximum torque is equal to R2 divided by X2. Okay, so R2 is equal to 0.01 and X2 is equal to 0.1. The answer will be 0.1. Okay, the speed at maximum torque. So this is our equation. So Nm is equal to Ns into 1 minus sub. This is the equation from this equation. Ns S is equal to Ns minus N divided by Ns. When you rearranging this equation, you will get the N equal to Ns into 1 minus sum, or you already get N is equal to Ns into 1 minus S. So it is a N will be the speed at the maximum torque. You can put is a Nm. Slip is a slip at the maximum torque, that is a Sm. So that we will change it here. Nm is equal to Ns into 1 minus Sm. Okay, then you have to find what is Ns. So Ns is a standard equation 120 F by P. So 120 into 50 divided by H is equal to 750 RPM. You will get the 750 RPM. So speed at maximum torque Nm will be equal to Ns, that will be 750 into 1 minus Sm, 1 minus 0.1, because 750 into 0.9 is 675 RPM. Okay, so you have to understand. So what is the slip at the maximum torque? That is R2 divided by X2. Then we will when dividing R2 by X2, you will get the slip at the maximum. Using this equation, you can easily find the answer. That will be answer is 675 RPM. Answer option is D is our answer. Okay. The next question, an 8-pole 50 Hz 3-phase induction motor has a equivalent rotor resistance of 0.07 ohm per phase. If it is stalling speed is 630 RPM, what is the rotor reactance per phase? What is the rotor reactance per? You have to find the rotor reactance per phase. Okay, so option A 0.04 ohm, 0.44 ohm. Option B 1.5 ohm. Option C 0.25 ohm. Option D 1.3 ohm. Okay. So stalling speed means speed at the maximum. So stalling speed it is a given, that is a 630 RPM. So stalling speed means speed at maximum torque. That you have to understand. Speed at maximum torque. So Ns it is not given, 120 F by P, 120 into 50 divided by 8 is 750 RPM. So you have to find the slip at the maximum torque, that you have to find the rotor reactance per phase. Okay, rotor reactance per phase it is so you have to find R2 divided by X2, that is the equation. Rotor reactance and rotor resistance, that is using slip, and there is a one equation is there, SS equal to R2 divided by X2. So first you have to find the Sm, slip at the maximum torque. So that is the equation Ns minus Nm divided by Ns. So Ns it is given as 750 minus stalling speed means the speed at maximum torque is 630 divided by 750. Then you will get the 0.16 ohm. Okay. So rotor resistance is it is a given. You have to find the rotor reactance. Resistance is given. You have to find the rotor reactance. Then slippage is given from this equation 0.16. Okay. So X2 will be equal to R2 divided by Sm. R2 divided by Sm. So what is R2? 0.07 divided by X2 will be 0.16. That you will get in from here. Sorry, Sm will be 0.16. So you will get the 0.4375, approximately 0.44. So once again, stalling speed it is a given 630. So stalling speed means the speed at the maximum torque. Okay. So then you have to find Ns. Ns is equal to 120 F by P. You will get the 750 RPM. So reactance and resistance and slip, one equation is there. Sm is equal to R2 divided by X2. So you have to find the Sm. Sm using this equation, Ns minus Nm divided by Ns. So 750 minus 630 divided by 750, you will get 0.16. Then X2 will be equal to R2 by Sm, 0.07 divided by 0.16 is 0.4375 is equal to 0.44. Our answer is option A is our answer. And going to the 46th question. Okay. An 8-pole 3-phase 50 Hz induction motor running with a slip of 4% is taking 20 kilowatts. an 8-pole 3-phase 50 years induction motor running with a slip of 4% is taking 20 kilowatt. So it is an input. Stator input is 20 kilowatt. Stator loss amount of 0.5 kilowatts. Okay. The total torque developed is, okay, option A 248, option B 312, option C 195, option D 214. So we can go through the explanation. So what is the torque equation? Gross torque is equal to P2 rotor output divided by WS. Okay, or P2 divided by 2 pi into NS. So it is a one thing is it is NS in the RPS, revolution per second. Okay, to convert to a revolution per minute, you have to divide by 60. Okay, it is a when your equation it is a NS in the RPS. Okay, so P2 it is a rotor input. So you have to find the rotor. You have to find the torque. The P2 divided by 2 pi into NS. So NS you have to find 120 F by B, 120 into 50 divided by 8. You will get the 750. Then you have to find P2. P2 is the rotor input. So rotor input. What is the rotor input? Is a rotor input is equal to stator input minus stator loss. So stator loss is given as 0.5 kilowatt. So stator input when you're minus when you're subtracting stator loss from stator input, you will get the stator output that will be equal to the rotor input. Okay, so stator input is equal to 20 kilowatt minus stator loss is equal to 0.5 kilowatt. Your answer will be 19.5 kilowatts. So rotor input will be 19.5 kilowatt. So torque equation P2 is a 19.5 divided by 2 pi into 750 divided by 60. So I have already said that NS is a RPS. You have to convert the RPM, that will be 750 divided by 60. It is in RPM. That is the reason. Okay. 19.5 into 1000 into 60 divided by 2 into 22 by 7. That is a pi into 750. You will get a 248.18 Newton meter. That will be your answer. So our option will be 248. Okay, approximately 248 Newton meter. Then 47th question. The supply voltage to an induction motor is reduced by 10%. By what percentage approximately will the maximum torque? Okay, will the what will be the change in the maximum torque? This is our question. So this type of one question you already did in this section. Okay, last video I think. So when the voltage is reduced by 10%, what will be changing in the maximum torque? Okay, so this already discussed that you know that starting torque is directly proportional to the applied voltage square. Okay, so first time you can take T1 is directly proportional to V square. The second time, okay, T2 you can, it is a 10% decreased by 10%. So it will be 90% or it will be 0.9 V is a 100%. Okay, it will be 90% or 0.9 V the whole square. So 0.9 into 0.9 it will be 0.81 into V square. Okay, when you are dividing T1 by T2 directly proportional by V square divided by 0.81 V square. So when you are dividing these two, okay, this and this, T1 by T2 is equal to V square divided by 0.81 V square. So V square will be cancelled and T2 will be equal to T1 into 0.81. Okay, T1 into 0.81. So T2 will be equal to 0.81 into T1 means 81% of T1. Okay, T2 will be equal to 0.81 into T1 or 81% of T1. So 19% is decreased. So 81 to 100 it is a 19. So T2 is decreased by the 19%. So our answer is option A. Okay. So the next question is very simple. The efficiency of an induction motor is about 100%, 80 to 90%, 50 to 60%, less than 50%. So induction motor, you know, it is always same as a transformer, but it is also known as a rotating transformer. Okay, induction motor is also known as a rotating transformer. So the transformer efficiency, you know, that it is above the 90. Okay, above the 90. But in the rotating induction motor, it is a rotating. So some rotating loss will be there, friction and wind loss will be there. The normally efficiency will be 80 to 90%. So the normally percentage of the induction motor is 80 to 90%. Okay. So next question is, which of the following component is usually fabricated out of silicon steel? Stator core, bearing, shaft, none of these. So that silicon steel, it is normally made for the stator core and rotor core, that is made by the silicon steel. So means, what is the use of silicon steel? Silicon steel is used to reduce the hysteresis loss. Okay, you have to understand that one. Silicon steel is used for the making stator core and rotor core because it reduce the hysteresis loss. There is a mainly two loss is there: hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. It is a stator mainly two classification of stator loss. Okay, then or core, it is known as a core loss. Okay, it is known as a core loss, not a stator loss. It is a core loss. Core loss is mainly stator hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. To reduce the hysteresis loss, you can use the silicon steel. Okay, to reduce the hysteresis loss, you can use the silicon steel. To reduce the eddy current loss, you are using the laminated core. That is a two important one is, to reduce the hysteresis loss, we are using the silicon steel. To reduce the eddy current, we are using the laminated. So some explanation is there. I am not going to that area. So silicon steel, it is normally used for making the stator core or rotor core. Okay, answer option A. The next question, the last question in our section. The rotor slots are slightly skewed in squirrel cage induction motor in order to increase rotor bar strength, prevent cogging, both 1 and 2, none of this. So it is a rotor slots are slightly skewed means some angle inclination will be there, some angle. So there is not a straight line, so some skewed will be there. So the answer is prevent cogging. So this is a to prevent the cogging, we are using the skewed squirrel cage rotor. So what is the cogging? So phenomena of magnetic locking between the stator and rotor teeth is called the cogging or teeth locking. So it is also known as, it is refused to start. So when an induction motor, there's some refuse to start. There's some uh, when you're starting, there is some problem will be there. Refuse to start. That is known as a cogging. So that is that you have to. It is a interlocking between the stator and the rotor. So magnetic interlock, it is a reason. There is a stator, is a number of pole will be there. Rotor will be pole will be there. Due to interaction between stator and rotor pole, that will be some locking will be there. To avoid that locking, we are making the uh, rotor bar in this skewed. So some angle deflection will be there. There is a no directly interaction. Okay, so you can avoid the cogging. Okay, our answer is the cogging. So it is our last question, 50 question in the fifth, and it is our fifth video. So we are already we finished the 50 question analysis in the chapter 3 phase induction motor. Okay, so next we have to discuss the single phase induction motor. Okay, so that video will be coming soon. Okay, thank you for watching this one. Okay, thank you.